are here as NASA, and we want to work together with the Kenyans to transform our country. We want to refer to the year 2002, when Kenyans had the first democratic change in our country, when we came in with the national revolution, the NAC revolution. That time, Kenyans became some of the most optimistic people in the world. Kenyans expected that change would come. And Kenyans started directing what change they wanted. Unfortunately, that was shortchanged. We would like to unite the people of this country, to create one nation, one people, to give equal opportunity to everybody who is born in our country. We want to reconcile our country. We formed a commission that was called Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission to address historical injustices in our country so that our country could move on in unity. Unfortunately, that report has not been implemented. We will establish a commission that will deal with historical injustices. We will deal with extrajudicial killings. We will deal with victims of muggings and police brutality effectively. We will also create opportunities for our women by creating gender development funds under the Women Representative. We will combat corruption. Corruption is a cancer in our society. Corruption is choking development in our country. This is not because of lack of laws. It is not because of lack of institutions, but it is because of lack of the will to be able to enforce the laws and create a proper system in our country. We will ensure that all NASA leaders, and this is in one of the pillars, 7 pillars of our coalition agreement, will sign an agreement that will not do business with the government. Today, we have a situation where those who are in government are themselves businessmen. And this itself is generating corruption. We will also bring in, because we have already brought in the bill before Parliament, that's a prompt payment bill, to ensure that those who do business with government are paid promptly. Today, businesses are being bankrupted because they have borrowed money from the banks are charging them interest, yet the government is not paying them. Yet the Parliament has already approved budget for the ministries of government. On the issue of infrastructure, we will improve and modernize infrastructure in our country. Our competitors promised 10,000 kilometers of tarmac roads in 5 years. As someone who has been responsible for road construction in this country, I say that was utopia. It could not happen. It has not happened. We will ensure that all roads that are constructed have provisions for pedestrians and also cyclists around them. We will allocate sufficient funds for infrastructural development. We have the SGR, which is now the only project that the Jubilee government can show Kenyans. The SGR was conceived under the Grand Coalition government, and it was supposed to link Mombasa, Nairobi, Kisumu, Kampala, Kigali, and Bujumbura. It's now going to a dead end called Naivasha. In somebody's private land. We will ensure that this project is implemented in accordance with the Vision 2030. Regarding the youth, we have a youth bulge in our country. 70% of our population are below 30 years of age. Kenya is therefore a very young nation. The youth can be a blessing or a curse, depending on how you make use of the youth. If the youth are not empowered, they will become drug addicts, they become delinquents and criminals. But on the other hand, if you provide proper training and education to the youth, so that then you impart skills on them, like they have done in China and in India, then you can turn them into a motive force for wealth creation and development. This is what we will do. Skills training, access to capital, so that youth can have opportunities to be able to be wealth creators and employers rather than employment seekers. This we will do in many ways. At the moment, there are funds, Youth Enterprise Fund, Youth Development Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, and so on and so forth. This just exists on paper. There's a big threat to youth accessing those funds. The bureaucracy, the bureaucratic red tape, get a police a certificate of compliance. And then you have to have an identity card, which you don't get, and so on and so forth. But those who are fortunate enough to get access to the funds, eventually don't get paid. And therefore they get bankrupted by the government. We will change all this. You know that. We will transform the way how Kenya is governed, how Kenya government is run. We will ensure that every Kenyan citizen gets equal opportunity everywhere. We will ensure that your name does not become the only criteria when it comes to access to employment. Whether you are a Mono, you are a Mtikenda, you are a Turkana, you are a Kikuyu, you are a Mkamba, you are a Jaluo, you are a Mluhya, you are a Somali, you are a Kenyan first. This is what we promise the people of Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A big thank you to the Right Honorable Raila Odinga for being truly committed to the issues. The next segment. Welcome. Full time. Are not the biggest divide. It is the divide between the rich and the extremely poor. Baba knows this. NASA understands this.